what would happen? Who would you become?
Tiffany TV. Tiffany TV. Tiffany TV.
Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Tiffany TV. If you are new here, thank you for joining us. Real quick, let's talk about our bevy of the day. Mine is peppermint tea today. It's warm and cozy and perfect for this conversation that we're going to be having today. Let me know in the comments what bevy you bought and let's get into it. So I actually posted a reel over on Instagram that a lot of people resonated with. And it was just my thoughts and how I'm feeling going into 2026. And it said, maybe you don't need a rebrand for 2026. Maybe you just need to master where you are right now. I've been on this self-awareness journey since about 2012, trying to unlearn bad habits and bring in new ones and really understand who I am at my core. And it wasn't until very recently that I really started getting there. It took time for me to peel those things away. But what I realized is along the way, as I tried new things and as I explored different parts of myself, every time that the new year came around, I never really sat down with myself and reviewed like, what is actually working? Or what do I really want to continue in the year? I always sat down and was like, okay, this is what did not work. I need to rebrand. I need to do this. I need to become this. I need to be more of this. Every year was like this restart. And even during the year, when something wasn't working long enough or I felt like I put my all into it and I didn't get what I wanted out of it or the response, I would automatically be like, okay, what's next? What do I need to do? What do I need to switch? I think this is the perfect video to start the new year with. And it's so easy to feel like we need to be this brand new person. We need to start everything over. We need to start new goals. We need to let go of the things we've been trying that's not working. What's new? What do I need to do new? And, reflecting on your goals and reflecting on what you did, maybe that you weren't so happy with and you want to be better on in this year is fine. But I feel like so many people come into this year with the pressure and the added social media pressure of rebranding. Rebranding has become such this trendy topic. And now that I look back at it, I know exactly what I was doing. And it was running from myself. Also being so influenced by social media that every year you need to be a better you and a different version of yourself 2.0. And what I realized going into this next year is that everything I'm working on right now, I love. And I only want to make that stronger. And so if this resonates with you, I want you to take a pause with me right here. There's no one that I know that's in a successful position that quit something every year or that started something new every single year and didn't double down and focus on one or two areas that they wanted to keep strengthening. I feel like it's leading so many people to believe that the only way to grow, the only way to shift, the only way to become her is to make this huge dramatic change. Setting 30 new goals, letting go of who they used to be, starting over again. But what would happen if instead of scattering your thoughts and being all over the place and starting something new, you chose one or two things that you've been circling around for years, leaving behind, stopping, pausing on, and you poured all of your energy and focus into that? What would happen? Who would you become? How different would that make your life? Now let's make something very clear. Whether you believe it or not, you are already exactly who you need to be. All the things that you need, all the tools, and knowing exactly what you want to do and what you need to do, it's there. And it may not feel like it, depending on where you are in life, things you've been through, the trauma you've experienced, your confidence levels, all those things play a part on whether you believe you can do this or not, and whether you believe you have all those things. So I get it, because I've been in that spot where I'm like, listening to all the people I follow and all those I look up to that are like, you have everything you need inside. And I'm like, no, I don't. Because when you're in that insecure space and when you've been through all those things and you haven't worked on it to heal it and to really get to the nitty gritty of what's going on inside of you, it truly can feel like all that you need is coming from outside of you. And that's not what it is. What it is that you need to take the time to isolate, to get off of social media, to get away from all the noise that's going on right now, that's crowding your attention, that's crowding your mind and taking your attention away from the very things that you need to do to get to that next level. The only ways that I found clarity and knowing what the next steps were for me was to really take a break from it all. It was to sit down with myself. It was to sit down quietly, meditation, journal all of my thoughts, even the ones that seemed scary or that I wrote down and it didn't feel good to write down. Brain dumping and getting all of my ideas out. That was the only way that I started to really understand what I wanted outside of the things I was being influenced to want. It's so easy, like when you're on social media, to immediately you want the $1 million salary. Immediately you want the big home. But it's like right now in this moment, what do I need to get to this next level? For me, it was learning to believe in myself. It was learning to be confident, to not have to look outside of myself for the answers, to not have to look outside of myself for inspiration, to be able to sit down quietly and write down the things that I wanted to achieve, and then take those goals and break them down into the smallest steps of what's next. We can acknowledge that there are seasons that an overhaul is necessary. There are seasons where you realize you are absolutely on the wrong path and you need to switch gears. But that's not what this video is for. This video is dedicated to those of us that keep revisiting the same ideas. We know the goals. We know the things that we want. We keep starting the things that we feel are going to get us there, and then we keep quitting. I was once a fashion designer, and then I went into bridal design, and then I stopped doing that and I started doing content creation around natural hair. And then one day I decided I didn't want to do that, and I came to YouTube. And now I realize that all those things I keep revisiting. I never stopped loving fashion. I never stopped loving inspiration. I never stopped loving style, hair, expression. All those things make me who I am. Taking time to quiet my mind. I don't need to add more. Essentially, what I was telling myself by restarting and doing something else is that what I love, the things that I'm attracted to right now, is not enough. Telling myself that I'm not enough. And that is what you're saying to yourself every time that you know what you need to do, you know what lights you up, you know what to do next, and you abandon it. You are abandoning yourself. When you ask for those answers and you ask, what are the next steps? And you get that idea, and then you only execute it for a day, a week, 2 weeks, even if it's a month, and you don't see the results that you're looking for, and then you abandon it. What you're saying is that you don't trust yourself and that you are not enough, that the things that you love and that you're attracted to is not enough to get you to the place of success you want to get you to the amount of money that you want to get to. You don't trust those things that are coming through. And not only is that signaling to yourself that you're not enough and that you don't know what you need, causing mistrust, that's also signaling to the universe that when an answer is provided to you, that when you pray and you ask for the guidance to be sent, and then the guidance is given to you, that you are not going to listen, that you are not going to take heed, you are not going to take action, or you're not going to stick to it long enough to see the results that you're looking for. Now, can your higher self be buried underneath bad habits? Yes. And can you stay in survival mode so long that you start to believe that that's who you truly are? Also, yes. And we're not going to sit here and pretend like everybody's dealt the same cards, right? Your environment, your upbringing, your beliefs as you grew up, your trauma, all of those things shape you into who you have been. And they're also going to play a huge role in who you become when you really hit that point of being your highest self. So instead of calling this a rebrand, I want you to think of this as a coming back to yourself, as a remembering, a reconnection, getting to know your authentic self again. For me, every year looked like this. I would sit down with my vision board. I would begin planning these big goals for next year. And instead of being excited, there was this little feeling inside of me that would feel disappointed because I hadn't hit the goal the year before or the year before that. It was always something bigger, better. Instead of doubling down on the thing that I really wanted to do, I would find a way to make it even bigger and grander. Finally, this year, I'm just like, what am I running from? What do I want to build that I keep running from, that I keep shying away from? And what am I scared of? Why won't I give myself the time and truly take my energy and pinpoint it, tunnel vision on this thing that I want to do, on these things that I want to do? So for me, that really meant doubling down on this channel and making sure that all the lessons that I want to share, I'm communicating with clarity, that I'm really taking the time to pour into the script to make sure that I'm covering all the things I want to say. And then not only that, but that I expand the brand, that I create all the things outside of it, similar to like my deck of cards. There's other things that I want to create. I want to expand this into a podcast. I've been saying that since before. It's a lot more difficult than I thought it was, but it's going to happen. And so that's one pillar. The second pillar is my love for beauty and fashion, focusing on really displaying my very unique sense of style. And not only that, but I've realized that even my sense of style was influenced by so much media coming in. I talked about this in a video before. I can't remember which one it was. I'll find it and I'll link it here. I talked about how when we love something, we tend to follow a bunch of people on social media that do that thing. So if you love fashion, you're following all the fashionistas and you're following all the fashion pages and fashion brands like the stores, and you're always seeing what they put out. You're seeing their marketing. You're seeing people's personal sense of style. If you are not already sure about your own thing, and I'm saying fashion because that's one major thing that I'm in love with, but I used the example last time